honoring Troop 1011's 234th Eagle Scout, Peter Desio. I'm Janet Hall, Committee Chair for the Troop 1011, Chairperson of this Eagle Board of Honor. It's my honor and privilege to turn the Master of Ceremonies responsibility over to Troop 1011 Committee Member and Cobb County Commissioner Mava, who will proceed over this afternoon's ceremony. So we invite you to cut your cell phones off until after this ceremony. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and let me add my welcome to all of you here today. It's also my honor and privilege to be asked to be the Master of Ceremony for this Eagle Court of Honor honoring Peter. Now, if you all rise and bow your heads in the invocation which will be given by Henry Altman, Troop 1011 Chaplain, and then remain standing for the opening ceremonies, which will be led by Assistant Senior Patrolman Ralph Schmidt.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the interest in the Scouting movement that has brought this group together today. We thank you for the success of the Scouting movement in the United States since it began more than a century ago in 1910. We are grateful for the influence that Troop 1011 has had on the lives of young men since it held its first charter in 1972. We pray for continued blessing on the Scouting program, its troop, its leaders, its Troop Committee, and its charter organization throughout the years ahead. We ask that you continue to bless the Scouting movement, that it may continue to touch the youth of this world and enable them to become the great citizens of tomorrow. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please raise our country's flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Before you stands a single lighted candle. It represents the Scout's spirit. The Scout Oath describes 3 duties that every Scout must accept: duty to God and country, duty to others, duty to self. Scouts, please repeat with me the Scout Oath as we light the 3 candles that represent these duties. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, tell other people at all times to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. In the Scout Oath, we promise to obey the Scout law. Scouts, please repeat the Scout law. Scout sign. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and thorough. A Scout is trustworthy. 2. Please be seated.
All right, by the authority vested in me as a representative of the Atlanta Area Council and the National Council of Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Eagle Court of Honor to be duly convened. As Master of Ceremonies of this Eagle Court of Honor, I had the privilege and the pleasure of presiding over a ceremony that began in 1912 when the first Eagle Scout badge was presented. Since then, millions of boys have gone through the Scouting program. Scouting has been recognized as one of the great organizations in the world, fostering the highest ideals of citizenship. It is little wonder that so many of our nation's greatest leaders had some of the earliest experiences in Scouting. Ponder, if you will, that the only footsteps on the moon have been made by Eagle Scouts. When most boys enter Scouting, they picture themselves becoming Eagle Scouts. However, as we all know, there are many competing activities and interests these days, vying for their attention. The flames of their burning aspirations often dim to ashes and flicker away, and then they stop short. The court welcomes Troop 1011's 210 Eagle Scout, Zach Newsom, to share with us the meaning of the Eagle Scout badge.
What does the Eagle Scout badge represent? The Eagle Badge represents the ultimate accomplishment of scouting skills in teamwork as a member of and a leader of his troop and his patrol, and in Scout spirit as represented by living the Scout oath and law. Only about 4% of all boys in scouting in the United States achieve the Eagle Award every year. The Eagle Scout Badge represents an ability to be of service to others by saving lives in emergencies. The Eagle Badge represents willingness to help others. The Eagle Scout Badge represents an understanding of our community and nation. The Eagle Scout Badge represents good, hard work. On average, it takes 5.5 years to achieve this award. The Eagle Scout Badge stands for strength of character. The Eagle Scout Badge symbolizes not only what a boy has done, but more importantly, it represents what kind of man he will be in the future. Today, we have the honor and pleasure of presenting Peter Desio for the award of Eagle Scout. The parents, brother and sister, grandparents, friends, and mentors of the Eagle candidate who we honor today have labored long and faithfully to help them develop toward alert and participatory citizenship through the Boy Scouting program. Their efforts culminate this afternoon in the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award. The success of these efforts, however, will only manifest themselves in the way this Eagle Scout sets an example for those who live, whose lives he touches. We are pleased to announce that Peter Desio is fully qualified and completed all the technical requirements for the Eagle Scout rank, as well as met the requirements for personal character and good citizenship. Honor Guard, please escort Eagle candidate Peter Desio before this court of honor, where he will be prepared to receive the highest ranking award conferred by the Boy Scouts of America, that of Eagle Scout. All Scouts, please rise.
Scouts, you may be seated. Now that we have proudly presented our Eagle candidate to you, the court invites Scoutmaster Tom Whitfield to tell you more about Peter.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tom Whitfield. Not only do I get the opportunity to participate in the ceremony today, but I get the distinct honor to introduce our candidate. So, Peter, thank you for this privilege. I still feel this way. You can see from Peter's program that he is a highly accomplished scout with 37 merit badges, 113 camping nights, and having participated in numerous scouting events and programs, and won several awards. In addition, he regularly serves his church, school, and community. Quite a resume. And after having done all this, he took on one whale of a project for which hundreds, and we hope thousands, will enjoy for decades to come. In short, his accomplishments go on and on. That's not what I plan to speak about. I would expect you looking for those things that are not written down. We actually go back quite a ways. 6 years, 10.5 months, give or take a few days. Or put differently, back to day one of your journey to Eagle. And quite a journey it has been. Peter was not always the man that stands before you today. Self-assured, confident in his abilities, an experienced leader, respected by his peers, and lastly, taller than I. My first memories of Peter were of a young man just entering Scouts, not quite comfortable in his skin, perhaps a little on the timid side, although outspoken at times, a bit short-tempered, I seem to recall, and lastly, much shorter. Your first summer camp. I recall this as being new and exciting, on your own, with freedom to roam 1,600 acres at Scout Reservation. A young man's dream come true. No parents, just a few grouchy adults watching over you from afar. All went well that first day, except for when night closed in and the gremlins came out and prevented you from going to sleep. Peter hunted me down that evening, looking for a phone or somebody to call home and something to help quiet his mind. Being the ever-resourceful leader that I am, I recalled sharing words of wisdom to comfort him and assured him that things would be okay. However, quickly realizing that I was not as good or wise as I thought I resorted to plan B. I quickly retrieved my iPod from my private stash, passed it on to the young lad, and sent him on his way. Problem solved. Or the call to me as a swimming badge counselor to come to your pool so you can complete those last few requirements you needed for an upcoming court of honor. No was not really an option. And it was really important for me to come, so I worked Peter especially hard that afternoon. But he passed the requirements in flying colors, albeit a bit waterlogged and a little out of breath. How about riding bull on Ecoe, Peter? I was looking back at this lad and saying to myself, could that possibly be Peter, our somewhat shy and reserved man, having the time of his life, straddling the front of an 8-person raft, grinning ear to ear, riding on some pretty intense rapids? Or cooking up a storm in a Dutch oven every time you turn around? Don't believe that is reflected in his program. But I know that Peter and his teammates won several contests over the years, and quite frankly, every time Peter's at a Dutch oven, a large number of scouts are circling about to be the first in line. Perhaps these culinary skills came into play for his selection of his final Eagle project. Ask that you remember the word final. You can't really tell from the program that Peter served as a leader of our first-year scouts and did an exemplary job. As you know, we're a large troop, and as such, we find it helps to separate our young scouts for the first half of the year. We assign a senior scout to a leadership team to help direct the program and see that they get a solid indoctrination into Boy Scouts. Well, Peter essentially ran our first-year program, always willing to do what it takes and to question the leader's directions. Just so you know this is no small task. In terms of scale, our first-year program is bigger than most troops in Atlanta, and for that matter, the country. For those of you who don't know, the Eagle Project is a final challenge on the marathon to the rank of Eagle, and his is really quite remarkable. Think about it. Over 100 hours, thousands of dollars in material and labor, and days upon days to complete. But what you don't realize is that this was his second choice. Peter approached me with this well-prepared document about a project at a middle school. It had new benches, an improved trail, a new sign, the whole works. In reality, the makings of a really nice potential Legion project. Peter, do you recall what I said? What did I say? I said no. As I do with all projects, I subjected his to some pretty tough criteria, but knew he was capable of doing something of greater significance. He took the reasoning in stride, and off he went. Not a whimper, not a complaint, at least none that were voiced directly to me. At home, perhaps it was a much different story. To me, a sign of an incredibly mature young man. And oh, by the way, we went out with that second project, as you can see from the program. So, here we are today to honor and show our respects to a young man that has grown into a proven leader, a mentor, and epitomizes what I would call a Boy Scout poster child. Peter, you have persevered and accomplished what many set out to do but fall short. So we congratulate you. Thank you for allowing me and the other leaders who played a role in your development to be part of your journey to Eagle. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the program back to Mr. Ron.
Next, we are honored to have a former Troop 1011 Scout to reach the rank of Eagle, Scout Andrew Anamalana, to come and lead us through the trail to Eagle.
I am the eagle who heights you have struggled hard to reach. Look back for a moment, look down at the cliff you have climbed. Look at the experiences you have encountered in your ascent. Remember when you joined Troop 1011 in 2005, I was your troop guide when you were first year scout. And I watched you take your first step upon the trail that leads toward Eagle. first step, you began to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You started living the Scout oath and law. First, you were a Scout. Then your brother Scouts called you a tenderfoot, and they were right. You were indeed a tenderfoot and inexperienced. Soon you reached your first ledge, and then you were greeted by a large group of second-class Scouts. You began learning some skills. Some were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more and worked harder, and before you knew it, you came to another ledge. That ledge was first class Scout. By now, you have learned the basic skills. There you found a tempting green meadow by clear crystal stream bathed in the sun. Here you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained there to live in first class glory, but your eventually stirred on you on the leadership and merit badge trail to earn the Scout star rank. Trail from first class to star was not as difficult as it seemed. This spurred you on, and again you climbed further. The trail was steeper and less worn. Fewer Scouts seemed to be headed in your direction. You looked down and saw crowds below you. You looked up and saw a few more above you with the same determination when you started climbing. You continued up the trail, you earned the life award. A heart badge was then placed on your uniform. You will never forget the thoughts at that time. The feeling has been experienced by all Scouts upon reaching the ledge of Life Scout. Now I am close to the eagle. I will carry on. The trail becomes tougher but more interesting. To earn the rank of Eagle Scout, you must complete at least 21 merit badges in addition to mastering basic scouting skills. Along the trail, you constantly reminded of your obligation to the Scout oath, law, and motto as they mean and what they mean to you as a Scout and his life. By the time you complete this journey into early manhood, you gain self-respect, confidence, and strength of character that will significantly contribute to your continual success in life. Yes, we have watched your character unfold and become manly. We have watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. We have watched all those things in you, and now you are on the threshold of your goal. We welcome you for you have done your climbing in a true Scout-like manner.
The court invites Team Scout Joseph Rondell to issue the challenge.
This afternoon, we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing Peter Desio for the award of Eagle Scout. Listen carefully to the meaning of the Eagle Badge and the obligations of an Eagle Scout. The appeal of the majestic eagle has been felt by every people from prehistoric times to the present day. For us today, the eagle is a living symbol of all courageous and freedom-aspiring Americans. When the Eagle Scout badge was initially designed in 1912, it was decided to be suspended to suspend a small silver eagle from a tricolor of red, white, and blue. So it has remained today. The first and foremost obligation of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a scout is trustworthy is the very first point of the scout law for good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because of the intimate importance of doing so to himself, but because of the example he sets for other scouts. May the white of the Eagle Badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A scout is true to his family, scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother scouts makes him pitch in and carry a share of the load. May the blue of the Eagle Badge always inspire you to loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. To a scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for what is right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. May the red of the Eagle Badge always remind you to do courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to a scroll of the second-class Scout Reward, which has its ends turned up in a smile. The fifth obligation of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle extends a helping hand to those who will still toil up Scouting's trail, just as others helped him in his climb to Eagle. The Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and helpless. He upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. Peter, you deserve much credit for having advanced to Scouting's highest rank. But wear your award with humility, and always be mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and always. Congratulations, Peter.
Before now invite Scoutmaster Troop 1011 Tom Whitfield back up to lead us to the Eagle rededication.
In a moment, the award of Eagle Scout will be conferred upon you, Peter. However, there are some special people that should be accorded the privilege of standing with you, sharing these high honors. Your parents have been most important to your trail of Eagle. Eagle Honor Guard, please escort Peter's parents forward to join their son at this time. Peter, you are now about to join the ranks of Eagle Scouts. Before doing so, however, we ask you to commit yourself to Scouting's essential principles. Once you become an Eagle, you will always remain an Eagle. It is only fitting that the other Eagles present should join you as you join their flock. I invite all those present who have earned the Eagle Scout Award to come forward at this time and stand with this new Eagle. Peter, you will now rededicate yourself to the principles of Scouting. Each candle represents one part of the Scout Oath. Reserved to forever uphold its principles with the same ambition and perseverance that has brought you this far. Please give the Scout sign and repeat after me the Eagle Promise. All of the Eagle Scouts are encouraged to reaffirm their promise they made when they became an Eagle and joined with Peter. Repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. obligations. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count stronger for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Peter, your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principle of scouting. But one more thing is important, and that is your future. Remember that your actions now are a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would not only reflect upon you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but by example, it is also ours. It is with distinct honor and pleasure that I now present you with your Eagle Award. Tradition demands that your mother be given the singular privilege of pinning the badge on your uniform. Somebody wrote out here the mom, Eagle Mom hug, so I'd like to see that. Okay? That's beautiful. And now, by the authority vested in me by the Boy Scouts of America, I declare you to be an Eagle Scout in the highest traditions. Peter, I now invite you to light the Eagle candle. As you go forward in life, receiving other honors and awards, Peter, always remember this day when you became an Eagle Scout. Having earned the Eagle Award, you are now eligible to become a member of the National Eagle Scout Association. Your troop has enrolled you as a 5-year member in the association. Fail not your Eagle Scouts, for your responsibilities are now greater than before. Fellow Eagles, you may now take your seats. I now ask your father to present the Eagle Certificate of Recognition from the National Office of the Boy Scouts of America, identifying you and certifying your achievement with the rank of Eagle Scout. Your dad is also presenting an Eagle pin, an Eagle neckerchief, and a slide that you may now proudly wear. known Peter feel a great sense of pride and accomplishment on this occasion. This is especially true for the parents of these Eagle Scouts. They have walked along the trail with Peter from tiger cubs to eagles, giving love, encouragement, support, and personal involvement. It is said that behind every good man, there is a good woman, and this is no less true for Peter. Always ready with a helping hand, a smile, a needle to sew on badges, and ready to receive a mouthful of dirty clothes after a camping trip. This is Mother. She deserves to be honored as well. As a symbol of what a mother has made possible, the court now asks Peter to present his mom with an Eagle Mom pin. Peter, your dad has stood by you over the years as well and has offered his encouragement and assistance. He has accompanied you on several of your scouting activities and has been active in your life with Troop 1011. As a symbol of what he has contributed to your attainment of this award, the court now asks you to present him with an Eagle Dad pin. Our Eagle Scout also wishes to honor his brother Daniel, his sister Olivia, and his grandmother and grandfather with tokens of his recognition for their love and support. Please escort the parents of our new back to their seats, please.
We're now honored to have State Representative and Pope High School alumni Matt Dollar present recognitions to our new Eagle Scout.
Congratulations, Peter. It's a great honor for me to be here with you today to join your family, friends, and fellow scouts to congratulate you on this great accomplishment. To that effect, I have brought with me a flag, state flag has been flown over the Georgia State Capitol in their honor. And at this time, just kind of like to unveil it and also, I brought with me a resolution from the Georgia House of Representatives commending you and detailing many of your accomplishments. And this time I'll present that to you, and congratulations.
At this time, the board invites Navy veteran and Scoutmaster Emeritus and Committee Chair Emeritus Al Creel to present the U.S. flag and military honors.
Looking over Peter's accomplishments brings back a lot of great memories. And I'm real proud of your accomplishments. You've done so much. And talking to your grandfather a little earlier, looking down here at the award for cold weather camping, which is referred to as the polar bear captain. I mentioned to him that in Georgia, if it's below 32 degrees, you could get the polar bear camper. Being from New York and being an old scouter, he just kind of looked at me and wasn't sure what I said, because it has to be zero up there. But it's different climates, different things. But I've always urged you all to look at this young man has accomplished. So much more than what requirements dictate. He's taken advantage of every opportunity in scouting. And I'm real proud that he has become one of my premier Dutch oven cookers. He can whip up a real wicked Dutch oven. I'm mainly up here to do the certificates of recognition. I don't know any other accomplishment a young man can complete other than being able to receive the recognition that you're receiving here today. I have a 3-ring binder that I'll present to you, but I do want to kind of skim through it and give you a taste of what the world thinks of Eagle Scouts. I have a check for $100 from Truett Cappy, Mr. Chick-fil-A, who's a big supporter of Boy Scouts. And, I left that in my wallet. But I guess I'll have to bring it in, get you co-sign. First of all, we've have in this packet a letter of recognition from the governor, Nathan Deal, from your Congressman Tom Price, from Senator Saxby Chambliss, Senator Johnson Isaacson, President Obama, Vice President Joseph Biden, and all other presidents, Bush Jr., Bush, George Bush, Jimmy Carter, William Clinton, also one from John Glenn, the first one to walk on the moon, and from the military, being a veteran of try to make sure the boys understand and appreciate those young men that made a great sacrifice in the war, previous wars, and we have made a special effort to take in all the opportunities available to us in this area. We have a letter from the National Department of American Legion, VFW, the local American Legion, which is a big supporter of Troop 1011 and Boy Scouting. There is no other group that I know that does more for scouting than the American Legion on the national and local level. They just gave us a check for $3,000 to help support our boys' summer camp. Veterans of foreign wars, Sons of the American Revolution, Sons of the Confederacy, Sons of the Union. I didn't overlook anyone. And the military likes the Eagle Scouts. The Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Navy have all sent in recognitions and opportunities for you in the future if you so desire. Also, the United States submarine veterans, we got a request of the opportunity for scholarship from Virginia Military Academy, North Georgia College, the Citadel, and it just goes on. I'm not going to attempt to read all these certificates, but I'm sure when you get home and have some quiet time, you can look through this and just see what you accomplished. I am so proud of you. It's been a pleasure. You bring back seeing the video and looking through this. You guys bring back great memories to me of all the accomplishments we've been scouting. And again, my congratulations. We've had this flag of the United States of America. This is a certified that this flag is flown over the United States Capitol in honor and respect to Peter Desio from the Honorable Tom Price. Again. Mr. Scott Menster, I think that concludes my presentation.
Okay, Peter, before you have a chance to say some words. Before you invite your dad to share with us some reflections on becoming.
I told Peter I'll write myself into the seminar, into the ceremony, because I wanted to make sure that I had a chance to say some words. Peter, it's been an honor to go on this trail with you. For those of you who may not be aware, I mean, people see me in Scouts. I've been with Peter since he was a Tiger Cub, but I was not a Boy Scout myself. So I'm kind of reliving the Boy Scout experience through Peter. I made it through Cub Scouts, didn't make the hour flight, I was a Weebo Scout. I joined Boy Scouts, I earned the Scout rank, and then I dropped out maybe a month into it, and I had other interests, so this is kind of my chance to do it all over again. And I look back, and it's quite interesting. So we started back with PAC 770 with Trick Elementary, and one of the first things we did was go camping. Now, I'm from New York City. You don't go camping in New York City, okay? So this idea of going out to the woods, and so this is a picture I asked them specifically. This was our first camp out, okay? When you're a Cub Scout, you go dump camping. Well, that means Dad does all the work, And Peter gets to play with he brought his little truck with him. Okay, 6 years old, out in the woods, first time. As Tom alluded to, lots of nervousness when it got nighttime. But we got through that first night, and it was interesting because you hear all the birds chirping and all the noise. And ever since then, Peter can't sleep when it's quiet. He needs to have noise. He needs to have the outside sounds going on. And, we learned, right? We went and bought equipment, became a backpacker. He's gone on backpacking trips, went to Jamboree. So, the camping is something that's grown on us, and we certainly appreciate that. Certainly, he's taken the lead now on the camping, and I'm kind of taking the back seat on the camping. But you have to know Peter, he likes to do things differently. There's a path to Eagle, and then there are the side paths that you get to take, the path less traveled. And so, again, as I was reflecting back on the very first Pinewood Derby car, right? All the kids want to play in the Pinewood Derby. Well, our first Pinewood Derby was on January of 2002. And what happened in September of 2001 was 9/11. Well, and I know the Mistraccios, I think, Joe, you were at that trip at that time. So Peter didn't want to have the fastest car. No, he wanted to build a car that was a memorial to 9/11. And so he says, I want to build a car that has the Twin Towers and the skyscraper of New York as the car. And I'm thinking, I don't know how to do this. I'm a dad, he's 6 years old, but he wants the Twin Towers on his car. And so I think, okay, I'll be smart on that. Well, you draw me a picture of it and we'll figure it out. Well, sure enough, don't you know, he takes pencil to paper, he's on the phone with my dad, how can we do this? And don't you know that we had a car that had the Twin Towers and had the skyline. It was not the fastest car. It won the award for most original car. And the one thing we didn't account for was that the Twin Towers was kind of tall. And the track that we raced on had electronic scoring system, so it had a, something over at the end of it. So the first trip down the track, don't you know, the Twin Towers got knocked off the car. So, but his car, you'll see the base of the car on his memorabilia table, and you'll see the in remembrance of 2011. So I think, that is just so incredible to be at that young age and to think about wanting to honor the people who lost their lives in 9/11. And then I think about as we moved on, went to Weeblos and Hampton, our first time at Burt Adams. And if you go to Burt Adams in July, Joe was there with me, he's here, it is unbelievably hot. And there is no air conditioning. And there are mosquitoes, but worse than the mosquitoes are the ticks. So you have to do, look for ticks. You have to all the medication, and you have to do the tick inspections. But Peter just loved it. He was like, Dad, this is what I want to do. I want to go, this is where we live. So I want to join a troop that does a lot of camping. So, we looked around, and of course we're members here at Mount Bethel, and this church has got, this troop has an awesome camping program. Sure enough, he joined, and he's been on, what Mr. Phil said, 113 nights of camping. I think I've gone maybe on 6 of those campouts, because I've been doing the Cub Scout stuff with Daniel. But I certainly commend you that my lack of camping did not hold you back from going camping at some of the amazing places that you've been. And then as we progress along this journey, we learn about first years. And so here we have a first-year backpacking program. You scouts all know that. Well, Peter, as a first year, he couldn't even put a backpack on. It was too heavy for him. So he said, you know what, Dad? I think I'm going to pass on the first-year backpacking program. But that didn't stop him, because 3 years later, he said, I'm going to be in the first-year backpacking program. I said, can we do that? So I talked to some of the ladies and said, can we have a third year in the first-year backpacking program? And they said, absolutely. Anybody who wants to backpack. And certainly, Mr. Sneed and the team, and he's been backpacking ever since. So I commend you for not giving up, but kind of taking a detour and doing it a little bit differently. The last thing that I just want to mention as I reflect back on the Eagle Trail, and Tom mentioned about this, was this Eagle Project. And Tom says he didn't hear a word of it. Well, I can tell you, Tom, I heard lots of words about the first Eagle Project, about Mr. Whitfield who doesn't want me to do this project. And I said to Peter, so when Mr. Whitfield challenged me, he didn't tell him what to do. We just challenged him that he didn't think his project was big enough or lasting enough. I said, okay. So Peter, this troop, we have a reputation, we build benches, we build picnic tables, we retrofit parks. I said, what are we going to do? He says, I want to build a concrete cooking area. And my exact words were, Peter, I don't know anything about concrete. I said, I know about wood. I know about wood projects. We have templates for wood projects, but concrete, you're on your own. But thanks to Mr. Eloquent and to my dad, who consulted with you, that he designed it, Peter designed it, had this idea, he sketched it on his computer. He worked with Andrew Malota, who did the CAD/CAM drawings for him. You know, he had this idea and he was able to reduce it down to practice. And now it really is a testament out there, a cooking area that the facility could use. And when we go up there, and you guys, you know, you've all been up at the Scout Lodge, it is quite an impressive cooking area. So, Tom, I really thank you for challenging him to step out of his comfort zone. Now we thank you. Yes. 2 years ago, I was not thanking you. I was mumbling things as well up there. But in hindsight, I thank you. So that wisdom, that was certainly a question. And then I just want to say, for those of you who are here, this troop really has been a blessing to me and a blessing to Peter. But there are 3 people who have been critical to Peter and my journey. So unfortunately, one of them's not here tonight, and that's Dr. Holcomb, and he sends his regrets. He was the scoutmaster when we first came in, and then he was also, he's on medical staff when we were at Jamboree, and he really helped Peter with his Jamboree experiences. Peter still, you might not know this, but he gets anxiety attacks sometimes, and so he gets anxious. He doesn't like large crowds. When you have 100,000 scouts, that can be intimidating. We went up to Eagle Ranch, and we had to do a 30-foot rappel. Peter wasn't anxious on the way down. It was climbing the stairs to get to the top. But I told him, hey, I'll be behind you. There's nothing to worry about. And so I traveled the trail with him, whether it be, you know, physically, you know, being there, helping you along, or whether it be emotionally, or you know, just with the support. But I am so proud and so honored to have had this journey with you. And so I just want to thank you, and then thank all the people who have come to support you on this trail. So congratulations.
All right, Peter, now it's your turn. You get to come up and tell us about your journey.
Well, I prepared a speech, and I hope it's not going to be as long as the really long ones that I've had in the past. But I'd like to start off by saying to all of you younger scouts who are here, I remember the first Eagle ceremony that I ever attended. It was sort of like this. You know, you sit, you watch the Eagle get all these awards. I don't remember who it was, and I don't remember what he said. But I remember listening to all the awards that were given to him, and I realized that I wanted to be like him. I wanted to one day be standing where I'm standing right now. And BBC with all those awards, all the letters from presidents, U.S. flag, all that. So it's not easy to become an Eagle Scout, but I challenge you to one day be standing where I am right now. I challenge you to make the Eagle Scout. And I can promise you that I've seen my friends fall short. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it when you get it. To my brother Dan, I'd like to remind you to keep up the good work. Stay focused on what is important to you. Remember that if you want it bad enough, you'll work hard enough to get it. To my parents, thank you for helping me, encouraging me, and in some cases pushing me to achieve my greatest potential. Thank you for supporting me through all these years, driving me to all these scout meetings, and putting up with the messy gear after the camping trips. To Mr. Frio, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for inspiring my love of Dutch oven cooking, my passion for the outdoors, for food. Thank you for inspiring me to achieve this. Don't ever stop supporting Troop 1011. To Mr. Whitfield, thank you for pushing me to never settle for less than my best. I may have been able to get here faster without you, but it would not have been as satisfying, because I've discovered that it's all in the journey. To Mr. Eloquent, thank you for your help on my Eagle Scout. You really taught me how to think ahead of my workers and make sure to plan everything out, and I thank you for that. My project really would not have been what it is without you. To everyone who helped with my Eagle Scout project, to the Genesis Sunday School class for helping fund it, I thank you for helping me get it done. To my troop guide, when I was first year, Andrew Malone, thank you for being an inspiration. I'm truly blessed to have met you. Without you, I may not be standing here where I am today. In addition, thank you for all of you for coming and supporting me as I achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. Thank you.
Honor Guard, please escort Eagle Scout Peter Desio to his parents' side. Please rise and remain standing as Adam Schmidt, Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, conducts our closing ceremony. Please remain standing for the benediction by Henry Altman, the 1011 chaplain table.
As we extinguish this white candle representing purity, may we be ever mindful of the obligation that a scout is clean. He is clean in body and thought, stands for clean speech, clean sports, clean habits, and travel in a moral crowd. As we extinguish this blue candle representing loyalty, may we be ever Peter Desio, ever mindful of the obligation that a scout is loyal. He is loyal to all whom loyalty is due. His leadership is his home, his parents, and his country. As we extinguish this red candle representing courage and sacrifice, may we be ever mindful of our obligation that a scout is brave. He has the courage to face danger in spite of fear, and to stand up for the right against coaxing of friends and the jeers or threats of enemies, and defeat does not down him.
Please bow your heads. May the Lord bless and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.
We, the Troop Committee and members of Troop 1011, thank you for coming to honor Peter, who has risen to the highest achievements in scouting. Your presence here today was very important to him and will make his memories of this event very special. At the close of the ceremony, you are invited to celebrate with our new Eagle and his family and to enjoy refreshments in the small dining room. I now declare this National Court of Honor closed. Thank you.